Ladies and gentlemen, this is KageKaze back again. In the PTR, I actually managed to get back in. Took a few tries. As you can see here, the PTR copy is still available. I have no characters on any other realm, so I'm not going to be utilizing that again. One thing you might want to keep in mind, this has been reported a few times by some people on the PTR. If you decide to partake of the PTR and check it out, if you swap back and forth between the PTR and live realms, you're going to run into issues where the game resets its settings. Not everything. My resolution and all that hasn't changed, but sound settings and even gameplay options are being reset by switching back and forth. Now, if you only play on live and you have the PTR, but you decide not to use the PTR, you just keep using live, you'll be fine. If you have the PTR and you're not touching live at all, you'll be fine. Both of these will retain their settings as long as you're sticking to one. But if you're bouncing back and forth, you're going to have to change your settings each time. Let's see now. First things first, we're going to go over a few things I've already noticed about changes. One is, of course, the icon here at the bottom that represents your character. Another here that is completely undocumented anywhere that I don't recall being in live is this ability to move your character up and down. I can select between my characters and I can actually, boom boom, change the order as to which they appear. Very nice. So I don't have to remember which order they were in. Now, one thing you might notice when you go to change your quest and go to try and select your monster power settings. So here, where am I? It says Reign of the Black King. That's fine. Let's go into Sword of the Stranger, Khazarden. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go into Act 3, because I was doing okay in Act 3. And light the beacons. So, Inferno difficulty. You can see here I have no way of changing my monster power. This is something you have to turn on. And I have a feeling this is going to be the same when live appears. Much like elective mode, monster power is not turned on by default. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Looks like I actually have to turn on my elective mode, my advanced. I'm going to have to turn everything on. So let's do that. I don't want tutorials. And we want damage numbers and all that because we're going to try and take a look at some of the health changes to monsters as we increase monster power. Here's some of the chat settings that they've changed. I went over that very briefly when I went over the patch notes. They have made it so you can change some settings here. Turn off the mature language filter, please. So it looks like you have an option to change the color of everything all the way down to the details such as monk chat looking for groups. So these are the general groups here. You can actually change the color of that particular group if you're in that chat room, which I am not, and I don't plan to be. In fact, I'm in general chat right now, which I normally turn off. But yeah, there you go. Chat colors. I'm not seeing anything as far as size is concerned yet. I'll be taking a look at that, seeing if we can't change the size of the chat panel. Social, I'm going to turn off my quick join for now. Anything that I need to be concerned with here? Doesn't look like it. Any new auction house events? That's nice. Not seeing anything else that might be new just yet. So there we go. Just kind of change everything, apply, accept. Alright, another thing here. Banners. This is kind of nice. If you look here, you can actually go into subcategories. So if I go here into shape, normally you would just see this. I can go here now. All these banners, right, which are now currently locked, so it doesn't remember my achievements, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's only a test realm. I can actually go in and select a general category. So here I have one for general. Here's all the ones from campaign, hardcore mode, for classes and crafting. So you can now, if you unlock a pattern or unlock anything with your sigil, you can go in here and actually find that very easily. You know, I said, oh, I want to go through I want my class sigils. There you go. There's my class sigils. I want to show off my crafting. There you go, as your crafting. Very nice changes that allow you to more easily customize your banner in accordance to the achievements that you get. Speaking of achievements, let's kind of go in here to see if there's any changes to this window. And it doesn't look like there really is. Unfortunately, yes, all my achievements are unavailable. Okay, let's go ahead and go into change quest. So now that I've turned on monster power, you can see here I have difficulty and now a monster power that scales from 1 to 10. No monster power is the game as we have it now. Actually, no monster power is the game a little easier than we have it now. So let's turn that on and let's start the game, and we're going to take a look at some general health numbers of the first few monsters we run across. Didn't I turn that off? Oh well, it's probably because it's... yeah. Very well. It is now all at once unlocking my achievements. That's amusing to say the least.
The black soulstone's getting hotter, straining against me. They're whispering to me. I can handle this, although it...
Someone's got to light those signal fires.
Okay, so let's take a look here. We have public chat options. I have a message pending. So this is new, and this is something they're testing as an in-game mail system. This mail system is not designed for players to use it. It's designed for Blizzard to use it. They're basically testing a way for Blizzard to give items to players and basically directly to us. A mail probably designed to be something like they do in World of Warcraft, where if you ever got compromised, they could give you back your items in an in-game mail. Well, Diablo 3 doesn't have an in-game mail system, so they had no way of just directly giving you items without just dropping them on your character. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this and see if I have anything. So there's my pending message. Actually, nothing. So it looks like this is just dummied on. There's no way to just turn it off. So that's fine. Let's look at the public chat options. And here's what I was looking for. I've got public chat, like usual. I can invite friends, leave chat, but I can also change the font. Now, the only downside here is it doesn't look like I can adjust the size of the window, which kind of sucks, because if I change the font size, it's at 16, let's bring it up to 20.
Everyone has lost hope. I will help them find it.
It's kind of nice getting bigger. I like the fact that I can bring it up. But I can also, if I wish to bring it down, let's bring it down to 12. That's a bit small. Let's 14, 16 was default. I can probably bring it down to 14, that's fine. But I would like to be able to resize this at some point. Baby steps, right? Baby steps, because this UI was not designed to be modifiable. All of this stuff is kind of hard-coded in, which makes it very difficult for them to make changes to it.
Gotta go.
Alright, there we go. All my achievements. How many achievements points did it give me? 160. Sheesh.
Meet your destiny.
Okay, we're looking at 58,000. 73,000. Yes, yes, Asmodan, we get it.
We saw the signal fire.
Now, one thing I am looking forward to is change to Iron Impact. 100% additional armor per enemy hit. Big change there. I want to at least... Oh, it changed all my binds. So let's take a look at, real quick, one of these big bruisers here. 242,000 hit points I have. See here, taking a bit of damage, but it's not too bad, honestly. I'm not using my war cry, so I'm taking a bit more damage than I normally would. And I don't have my binds. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Do not have your binds right away. So let's kind of go in here into options. Key bindings, and we'll do this real fast. There we go.
can hear the cries of battle already.
Okay, we're looking at 75,000 of the dogs. Things are not too bad. I'm intentionally not using my war cry right now. And there you go. I died pretty quick there once they swarmed in. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and turn on the war cry test my power on that one.
Not enough fury.
So there we go. Has been nerfed. Resistance is increased by 20%, armor by 20%. Let's go ahead and see how long it takes me to die. Oh, I had a lot of defense there, so there we go. Starting to go down, starting to go down. It's kind of what I expect, honestly, with my health and armor levels the way they are. I've sacrificed a bit of my survivability. Alright, I probably won't be able to go too high on my monster power. 112,000. Okay. Where's your health at? Bring it up. There it is. 96,000. So let's just go ahead and leave this game for now. Well, best to actually go back to town, right? Aha! Swing and a miss! Alright, we're gonna go ahead and... Okay. Monster power somehow got turned off again. Let's turn it back on. Change quest. Let's just bring it all the way up to 10. I want to see how quickly I die. I'm pretty sure I will. Very quickly. Very, very quickly. You know why? Here, I'll show you my changes here. Only 500 thereabouts of my resistances. 4K armor. Yeah. Oh dear, an elite already. Alright, let's take a look at the very first one we have here. 2.1 million hit points on this very first guy here. Hit me, hit me. I want to see... Oh, these guys programmed not to hurt. Oh, here we go. One hit. Lost a good chunk. Oh my. I'm going to be beating on these guys for quite some time. This is a crazy amount of hit points on these things.
Still recharging.
That is insane. Now this part isn't so bad, but let's see how badly these things are going to eat me alive. They are going to... Oh, they are going to eat me alive. Hold on. How many hit points do they have? 27 million hit points? I'm going to die. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am so dead. Oh my. 9 million? Yeah, 9 million on that one. And on you, 1.8. Jeez, that's crazy. Oh no, that's 9 million. That's 936,000. Yes, I am obviously not geared for Monster Power 10. Can you tell? These guys are intentionally weak. They're not a big deal, but once I actually get into the meat of it... Oh dear. I completely missed. That was horrible. So yeah, things as far as difficulty are definitely up there. The monsters will have lots, obviously, tons of health. They will have more in the realm of damage.
Find the signal fire.
This is, if you liked old Inferno, I think you're going to like this monster power thing. And the beautiful thing is, because there's 10 levels of it, it's pretty granular, so you've got a, you know, kind of a gradient level of difficulty here. It's not just a hard and fast, here's your, you know, easy, medium, hard. You can choose between a whole bunch of different levels now. If maybe Inferno is too hard for you, and farming Hell is an issue, you can just bring up Hell's difficulty. Or maybe Act 2, maybe you're hitting that wall with Act 2. You can go back to Act 1, but bring the monster power up. Now, supposedly, with these higher monster powers, we're going to get more golden magic find. So what I'm going to do here real quick is look at my golden magic find, and I'm pretty sure that's a yes. My magic find is 303. My gold 265. So I am wearing some stuff with magic find. Let's just take a quick look at the hard numbers here. I'm going to go ahead and take off everything I have just to make sure that magic find doesn't sneak in here somehow. There we go. Everything is off. So at Monster Power 10, you are given a base 265. Is that true, or are you wearing magic find? Here, I'll do this. Dismiss. Alright, character tab. 265 magic find. So just to make sure that that's changing, bring it down to Monster Power 5.
We saw the signal fire. We must like the rest, but the demons.
And 140. So your magic find for monster power will show up in your bar here. So let's see. I'll just real quick do the math here, honestly. So I'm looking at 140, and I put this on Monster Power 5. So you're getting about 28%, it looks like, per level. It's just real quick. We'll go ahead and confirm that with Monster Power 1, just to make sure that it goes up in a linear fashion, because it could go up exponentially.
We saw the signal fire. We must like the rest, but the demons swarm around them.
40 at level 1. Let's see how it goes up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a few corrections here, as I had forgotten to add a few numbers into my calculations here. I actually forgot about my own paragon level of level 5, which was throwing the numbers off a little bit for me and giving me 15% innate magic find. So what's actually happening here for the monster levels, and what I'm going to do here real quick is show off that my monster power is off again. It appears that if you turn monster power off and go into a game, it will turn off the checkbox in gameplay. Hopefully this is just a bug that will be squashed. I'm pretty sure it will. I highly doubt that is intended. So I will go ahead. I am a dumbass. Yes, I am. La la la. I did exactly what you think I did. I clicked the exit game button without meaning to. Anyway, we're going to move on. I was just talking about the monster power system and how it gets disabled every time you turn it off. I've actually just submitted the report, and just in time to actually get back in the game. I'm getting lucky, and hopefully my luck continues here. So monster power is back on, and we're going to return to the game, not exit it. And I'm going to do a real quick change here. According to a post I just saw on the official forums, monster power, it looks like 2 or 3 is about equal to what patch 104 is. So if you're not looking for a nerf, you want to bring things up to monster power 1, 2, or 3 at this point. So because I don't have a lot of defensive abilities, I'm going to bring it down to 2 for now and just play through a bit.
We saw the signal fire. We must like the rest.
Of course, I have to go get my follower. But going over the numbers that I had a little bit incorrect here. I had discounted my own paragon level, so I'm getting 15% magic find from that. Each level of monster power gives you 25% magic and gold find. Oh, that's interesting. I can get my... hold on. Quick achievements, right? Okay. So Monster Power 1, you get 25. Monster Power 2, you get 50. So if we look at... just to point it out right here, in the upper right-hand corner, you can see that not only does it show my difficulty, but my Monster Power level. So I am currently at Inferno, Monster Power level 2. So you can see that right up there. So we're going to see how survivable I am at Monster Power level 2 real quick, considering the nerfs to Warcry Impunity. Minor changes to Leap, although to me Leap will probably be more of a buff because I tend to like to leap into combat. Another change, of course, Battle Rage now lasts 120 seconds, so I don't have to keep an eye on that nearly as much. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to kind of pause this and look at this guy's health here. See, he's got about 72,000. So 72,717. So I recorded a few health numbers here, and unfortunately monster health is variable. Not all monsters are made equal. So my monster health recording for a normal one of these guys was about 45,688. So let's take his 72,717 and we'll subtract the 45,000. So we've got a difference of about 27,000. If everything's going linear, which it appears to be, we're getting a linear increase so far in Magic Find. In the early levels it may be linear, but I am hearing some reports of monster health jumping up really high in monster level 10. So keep in mind that I'm only looking at a linear change right now, when this very well could be a exponential change. So I'm looking at about 13,000 hit points increase every level of monster power, but some monsters, we had millions of hit points on these guys on monster level 10. So I highly doubt that that's going to be accurate. I would have to get a base reading on all of these monsters and then try and get changes. If every monster had the same hit points, this would be a lot easier, because then I could just go through, find a simple pack that's always the same, like the beginning pack here, and record their numbers. Unfortunately, that's just not as easy to do.
Still recharging.
So one thing I'm going to have to get used to as well, being a barbarian, is not only the nerf to Warcry, but the change to Warcry being being able to be used every 20 seconds. I can actually get more consistent fury with that. One of the things I would like to try and look into is the Whirlwind build, but I made it once, and I had different equipment then. Right now I'm pretty much focusing on a two-handed build, trying things out how I like it, because I wanted to go back and try out my Merciless Assault, because this used to be one of my favorite skills while leveling. Using Ren for some bleed and life regen here. Oh, get back up, girl. Seriously. So what I might go out and do is go out into the forums, take a look at the suggested builds for Whirlwinds, and maybe see if I can find a decent weapon to do it with. Because to be honest with you, I don't know if the optimal builds consider two-handed or one-handed. So far this isn't too bad, to be honest with you. My survivability still appears to be there. And this is with all the values roughly equivalent to the current patch on live. But I'm going to go ahead and talk briefly about the Whirlwind thing because I know some people are not quite happy with the changes going on there. There was a beautiful post by Laria that kind of explained exactly why they changed Sprint. Because there was some discussion on the Diablo fans forum about what needed to change for Whirlwind, and a lot of people were assuming that it was Wrath of the Berserker because of the uptime using... which rune is it? I'll take a look here in a moment. I can't remember the name now. Oh, Thrive on Chaos, using Thrive on Chaos, because Thrive on Chaos would basically allow you to keep getting more time on your Wrath of the Berserker with every crit, or sorry, with every amount of rage generated. So, the post from Blizzard, though, apparently says otherwise. It was not so much the uptime of that, it was actually the life regeneration of the Whirlwind on, or the Tornado, sorry, on Sprint. Stating that the health regen was so high that they found that with Monster Power 10, the only way they could kill a Whirlwind Barb is not by that. That was my own fault. But was to basically increase the damage spikiness so much that because they had to kill a Whirlwind Barb within just within a second, basically, or he was going to get his health back with a decently geared Tornado Barb. Now, it makes sense to me on paper. I don't know the mechanics behind it. In fact, since I only tried it once, it was interesting, it was fun to play with it for a while, but I wanted to move on to other abilities and skills, kind of like I am now. I have nothing against the Tornado builds.
Need more time.
I honestly wish no animosity to them. I just honestly, if things seem too powerful, then they definitely need to look into it to adjust things to make people want to use more specs and more variety. And I'm always looking out for what possible changes can they make without nerfing people, because obviously everybody would rather be buffed rather than be nerfed. And that was kind of one of the things that was mentioned in that thread was, you know, want to be buffed, don't want to be nerfed, just buff the other classes. But if the true reasoning behind the nerf to the Whirlwind is because it was just too good, then obviously buffing everybody else to that level would be a bad thing, because then the whole thing is just trivial for all the classes. Now, I don't think that the Whirlwind Tornado spec was trivial at all. As a matter of fact, having tried it, I know it takes a lot of upkeep. Have to keep an eye on all of your cooldowns, and it's even harder to do when you only have so many spots on your buff bar to really effectively manage it. You kind of have to remember where you are on your timer if you've got anything more than 5, I believe it is, which is really a shame. But honestly, the coefficient change, I think that the Whirlwind Barbarian is still going to be pretty sustainable. It's not going to be as easy, obviously, but you've got because of the reduced Fury generation on the Tornadoes, they reduced the cost of Whirlwind itself, and they, I don't remember if there was really anything else in regards to that was really changed. The Fury cost of the Tornado, honestly, another thing is for Fury generation, War Cries change, I honestly think can help with that. When you think about it, when you've got 20 Fury every 20 seconds, that's actually a little easier to manage than 30 every 30. Simply because you might get your 30 Fury, and then if you don't have your Warcry back up by the time you need it, then you could be Fury starved at that point. But because you can generate 20 Fury every 20 seconds, it kind of reduces the spikiness of your Fury generation and makes it more consistent. It means the sad part about that is it means you have to maintain it more. You have to do it more often, which can make the spec even harder to play. But with the changes to Battle Rage, and this could be a reason why they bought Battle Rage back up, hard to say. 2-minute cooldown, considering this used to be, 30 seconds? Now it's 2 minutes. It's a huge change. A lot less upkeep on your Battle Rage. Not only that, but you don't, since it lasts 2 minutes, you can easily just not have to use it, and you're not spending a lot of your rage. So since you're not spending your fury on keeping that up, you can spend it on Whirlwind. So there's a few ideas there to me that seem like things are probably going to be all right. I actually looked at a video from Barbarian who says, you know, it seems to be working still. It's, you know, different, might require a little more gear in some cases. But I think the spec is far from dead. And I think people really need to come here into the PTR and give it a shot, because obviously I'm not an authority on it, as I haven't really played it extensively. I've only dabbled in it. So I really think you're probably going to want to try it out for your own experience. You know, look into the other people that are coming onto the PTR and see what they think if you don't want to get the PTR. It's understandable if you don't. It's a lot of trouble getting in, and it's more hard drive space that you might not want to spend. But look into it, honestly. I really think that this is the kind of thing that needs to be researched, and knee-jerk reactions are just going to hurt things, really. The same thing happened with the critical mass wizards. I bring them up a lot when this conversation comes up, simply because they were nerfed. A lot of people said, oh no, this is the end of the critical mass wizard. We're not going to be able to do it anymore. And you still could. It wasn't as effective, but it still worked. So keep an eye on that. So far things look and feel pretty good, and what I think I'm going to do is take a look at the leveling, because one of the things that Monster Power does give you that I haven't really gone over here is it gives more experience gain for every level of Monster Power. So you're getting more Gold Fine, more Magic Fine, tougher monsters, but you're also getting experience gain. The one thing that I could not confirm on this is whether or not the experience gain counts for level 60 and Paragon levels. It will count for sub-level 60, and it's been hinted that it may count for 60 and up, so, but I don't know for sure. It's kind of hard to tell. What I'm going to have to do is pick a run in an area and keep an eye on my experience levels and kind of get an average to see, okay, what can I get in a single run in this one area on no monster power, and then bring the monster power up to, you know, 5 or 10 or something. So maybe I'll go back to Act 1 and test it out and see how much experience I get for doing a clear in an area. I think that might actually help me to figure out if it works for Paragon levels, and I'll report back on that. Alright, well those are just some of my musings on this. The patch, like I said, is looking fairly good. I am a little bit more squishy, I think, right now because of the nerfs to Warcry and the defensive nerfs, but it's not so much that it's breaking me. And as I showed you guys, my gear is not really that great. I'm kind of in a transitional state in gear as well, trying to transition here to a two-handed build from my original defensive build. I actually had a very, very defensive build with sword and board. I even still have my sword and shield here. So one other thing I kind of wanted to look into here is, let's see if I have something good to look into. These equipment now are supposed to roll on the monster level that I killed, not the item level. So this item level 61 should roll up with ranges closer to 63. Since this is Act 3, the monster should be around 62, 63 at this point. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good test or not, but let's take a look. Oh, the 1 second identify, very nice. Yeah, I don't know what to say on that one. So, I don't really know what they changed on gear, to be honest with you. It's, I'm gonna need more gear to really tell for sure here. Good news is that item level 58 below just can't drop in Inferno anymore. Thank goodness, I'm so happy about that change. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep at it. Look at the PTR. Get some data together. If anyone has any questions or anything they'd like looked into, I'd be more than happy to try. Keep in mind my Barbarian at this point is my only 60. I will try and do what I can about that, but it's not going to be easy, considering that's going to take a lot of time for leveling, unless monster level 10 happens to give quite a bit of experience. But I think that's going to be my next project. Start a character at level 1, see how quickly he levels with monster level 10 in normal mode. Alright, so I'm going to call it for now. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is KageKaze, and this has just been your Patch 105 PTR. I'll see you guys on the next one.